back. As promised, we shall extend the orb in our previous RHOLE example to be something a little deeper and more complicated. So let's first give you a preview of what that's going to look like. So we're going to load our next example, view it. Here we have our hole as before. However, this time if we step through, we fall into a domain below. So here we have, if you look in the editor, we have our domain 0, which is the domain we start in. It's from 0 to 512. Then we have a hole, a 128 unit hole that we can fall through, and down below we have like a pit that you can fall into. This could easily be, the upper area could be a street, this could be a manhole, and this receiving domain could be like a sewer. This is a very common construction element that you will need in many situations, whether it be accessing an attic in a home, going through a drop in some kind of haunted house, or a street with a sewer. So let's look again at how this is done. Here's our top region, a hole, and the region down below. So let's start by going back in time Alright, now we have journeyed back to our beginning single room. Here we have it. Alright, first step, once again, we add a hole. This is an R hole. It goes, ceiling of the hole is at 0, and it goes to a depth of -128. And that was domain 1. Let's move that in. And since we're here, we might as well change these. Here we have once again our simple hole. Jump down in it, and there we go. Let's go into the editor, and we shall create a room down below. Here's our main room, and let's just click the add button, or you can press insert. Now the ceiling is going to be -128, so it connects with the hole. Now that's not nice. Let's see, try -128, enter. It refuses the -128 because that would be less than the floor. So you have to first put in we'll do a -256 for the floor, and then you can do a -128 for the ceiling. It's a little bit frustrating when you first find the program refusing to accept your input values, but it's doing it because it doesn't make sense to have the ceiling lower than the floor. Alright, now then we start by creating our lower area, which is domain 2. Save, load, Go back into the editor, and here we have, oh, that didn't work. Well, I know exactly what needs to be done to make this work. In order to connect, let me start that again. In order to have a hole in a single domain, you can ignore these issues of domain above and below. But to use a hole to connect two domains that are above each other, you have to use these two little values right here. Now, the domain above is going to be 0. The domain below is domain 2. So let's save, reload, edit. Well, I still see there's something there. Oh, but it looks like there's not. I was able to fall through it. If we go into fly mode, the floor is there, the ceiling's there, then I come through this invisible ceiling and floor. So that's all acting kind of bizarre. Now, bizarre could be a feature. You could have this floor showing as a kind of trap. Let's assume that you want this to be a fall through that you can see into the next room. The way to make that happen is we go to our domain and we delete this ceiling texture, delete the floor texture, save, load, go back into the editor, and now you can see all the way through into the room below. And if you fall through, you can see up above to the room above. So we've used an R-hole to connect two domains, one on top of the other. And in doing this, we've also seen how we could, if we wished, have a kind of false floor in the hole to act as a type of trap. I'll show you how that would work again. Just put in a floor texture. Oh, look, there's a nice solid floor we can jump on, and then you find out that it's a hole. I'm going to remove that so we can leave this as a working sample, and there you have it. You have a working R hole connecting two domains, one above the other.